No one talks enough about how hard it is to let go of the guy who you love and who loves you. And there's so many beautiful blessings in the relationship, and yet you just know deep down that they are not your forever person. And you go through it hoping that that feeling goes away and that the love takes over and that everything works out, because you've never been treated this way. And it's so much of what you've prayed for. And yet it teaches you about self-trust, and that choosing yourself, no matter what the outcome, is always going to be in your favor, because it's not fair for you or the other person to silence that voice inside.
Women like this are a karma that ends up being paid by a good man. So the farther away, the better. And I want the women in this video far away, because they show exactly why many men choose to stay single. But before we start, give us a like and leave your comments.
Okay, this is typically not my content, but I need to hear from somebody who has gone through this. What if you meet somebody where you are their dream girl, but they're not your dream man? Like, do you just accept because obviously they're so loving and they love you exactly the way that you want to be loved? Or, 'cause I don't want to have to do this thing where I'm like building a man. I don't want to do that. I want them to come ready. But also, hypothetical question. So let me know what you think.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no.
Girls, don't ever marry your second choice. He is not the man you still think about at 2 a.m. Don't marry him. Every girl has that one guy, the one who ruined her for everybody else. You never get over him. You just learn to live without him. He set the standard. Every kiss after him feels weaker. Every I love you sounds quieter. You also compare silently every single day, even on your wedding day. You settle for safe because dangerous broke you once again, and you swore to yourself, never again. You'll say, I'm happy, while staring at the ceiling at night, wondering what he's doing right now. Your physical body will be in the bed next to your husband, but your soul will still be in that old car, that old motorcycle, the old apartment, the old version of you that felt alive. You'll teach your daughters to never settle while secretly knowing you did. One day you will see his name pop up or hear his favorite song, and your heart will skip a beat like you're 19 again and you hate yourself for it. If he is not the man who still owns a piece of you, don't put his ring on your finger. Because second choice love turns into first class regret. Marry the man that you cannot live without, not the one that you can live with.
I am engaged, but not to my dream man. That's right, you heard me correct. I've actually dated the man of my dreams a few years back.
Oh, I couldn't imagine that pain. Imagine seeing the woman that you're meant to be marrying. You've engaged her, and you're seeing a video like this. Yeah, well, I'm engaged, but not to me dream man. That's fucking mad. What are you on about? That's why getting with a woman with no past will cause you no problems. Because she's never had any trauma. Find yourself a woman of God, because she won't have a past there. If you want to find a woman of God, download the Even app. You can ask you questions such as, how can I find a woman of God? And it'll give you qualities that a woman should have to know she's all for the Lord. Careful what woman you're getting with there, because that woman could be the woman of your dreams, but you mightn't be the man of her dreams. Stay woke in the streets there. Big brr.
Gotcha, bitch.
Marries. I think it was from the BBC, where they interviewed women to ask if they had married the man they loved. Most said no, and that's revealing. That's why I've always said that on the wedding day, only one person is getting married for love, and that's the man. The woman marries for a lifestyle. That's why the divorce rate is so high, because she doesn't love you. But since you're a good father and provider, in a selfish way, she doesn't want another woman, one who would actually value you, to find you. She keeps you in that position of the man in the friend zone, the one she benefits from. She doesn't let you go because when she reaches an age where the man she truly likes doesn't pay attention to her, you're still there offering her the sky and the moon, and then she settles for you. That's where you're suffering and your failed marriage begin.
Here's the thing about good men, okay? The type of men that many of you say don't exist anymore. They do exist, they just have high standards. So if you are the type of woman who calls other women vain for maintaining a lean physique, taking care of themselves, buying nice clothing, always looking nice, then you will not attract that type of man that has those high standards. If you are the type of woman who puts yourself on a pedestal and views yourself as the prize and cannot take any form of constructive criticism in order to raise those standards for yourself, you will not attract that type of man. If you bring constant attitude problems, you will never attract that type of man. If you are constantly playing games, you will never attract that type of man. A man who has his life together does not need you to come into it and create chaos. He simply just wants peace. The reality is the majority of women want a top 1% man. Meanwhile, they are 30 pounds overweight and bring nothing but attitude problems to the table. It's because of this mentality in our society that women are the prize and don't need to bring anything to the table because they are the table. When in reality, a man who already has his life together wants someone to come into that and join him and make his life better, not make it chaotic, not have to constantly beg you to raise your standards for yourself. So here's the thing, we often make a list of all the traits that we want in our ideal man, but we rarely make a list of the traits that we need to cultivate in ourselves in order to attract that type of man. I'm going to use the fitness example just because it's the easiest, but if you want a man with a ton of muscle, who's in shape, who goes to the gym, who has a six-pack, you also better be in shape and going to the gym and taking care of yourself. This is just common sense. So yes, have high standards for the person you want to be with, but also cultivate those high standards within yourself.
Totally. They all want a 10 when they're a 5. They don't qualify, but they want to be at the finish line waiting for the winner. Many also ignore the 23 or 25-year-old guy who's on the come up, who wants to give them a good life. But once they hit 30 and
good men do finish last. And I'm going to tell you why. When a woman finally meets a good man after being neglected, taken for granted, torn down, you name it, all these bad men, she finally meets a good man. She doesn't understand what she's done to deserve this kind of love. She doesn't know how to receive that love. And when a woman is in that state of mind, she is constantly looking for red flags. And when she finds one, even a small red flag, she will cling to it and mentally check out of the relationship, and the man doesn't even know it. And this is where a good man does what good men do, and they will continue to fight and give grace and time, thinking that she will come around because he has no idea that she has already mentally checked out of that relationship. And trust me when I say that no good man would willingly choose to stay and fight for a relationship where he is not wanted. Therefore, good men do finish last because they are constantly punished for all of the bad men in a woman's past.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
no good man ends up being punished by another man, but by the woman he gets involved with, a high-mileage woman with a body count of more than 10 who spent her life chasing chads to put her on that emotional roller coaster. After going through all that, and when she no longer has the same value in the market as before, that's when she wants a good man. Unfortunately, many times she gets one because there's always a beta provider who shows up to save her. And that man ends up giving her financial security and paying for the damage. It's sad, but that's how it is. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Would you accept being a woman's plan B just so you don't end up alone? Do you think a woman can truly love a man she only chose for stability? If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.